going to do a webinar on demand. Due to bad qualities on the live demo webinar, we decided we'll do a little bit of a rework of it and make it available as a offline recording. Okay, today's webinar is about business as unusual. Now, this topic stems from Moderna's decision around the COVID-19 outbreak and how we proceeded through this platform. So a little bit of our agenda: introductions, business as unusual, BIM 360 design, why we're here, some remote tips from Moderna, up next planning, and Q&A at the end. So introductions to Moderna AEC. Moderna AEC and Infrastructure is your digital partner in the AEC industry, and they help companies transform their businesses to digital mediums. For today, Moderna is an emergency kit you want to be partnered with, and most of the clients would know by now the assistance of what we've provided so far and support. Myself, Michael Windall, I'm a senior application engineer at Moderna, and I like generally to help clients adopt new workflows and new designs. Today, I'm just the guy helping you help yourself. So the business as unusual, an unplanned document. So this is our little behind the scenes document of what happened to the COVID-19 and our plan to help our clients be more efficient during this time. So before I look at the document, I wanted to put it against a little bit of a timeline, what happened in the last 2 weeks since the original webinar. So we had our first president's speech on Saturday the 15th of March, which has stipulated the COVID-19 outbreak in South Africa. Then that Tuesday, the 17th of March, we launched our business as unusual internal document. Based on the next 2 days, Thursday the 19th March, Autodesk released the statement that I'll do a extended trial version of the BIM 360 platform, and that opened up the doors for us to make sure that we can do a webinar to help assist our clients, which is this webinar. So when we decided to put together our business as unusual documentation to show you guys what we've done, and then also our quick start of first aid kit. Then Monday the 23rd of March, we had the lockdown speech saying that we'll all go down into the 21-day lockdown. By Wednesday the 21st of March, we had remote offices. It was a rapid change in the way we do things. Typically, digital transformation lasts over months and years to convert offices. We basically had given 4 days to do so. In this time, we also developed a rapid BIM licensing creation workflow internally to assist clients into going to BIM 360 design and docs. We also started planning for remote training webinar with Pinnacle, which you guys will see in due course. So a little bit of our internal documentation, the behind the scenes. When we developed our documentation, we talked about 4 platforms or 4 areas we want to put focus in: communication, collaboration, remote thinking, and ultimately Moderna support. Where do we fit in all of this? For the communication, we looked at implementing Microsoft Teams with any of our clients that is part of our active client list that have services with us currently. And this was our typical workflow to make sure that communication and training can continue as much as possible without any intermediate break or contract cancellations, because we understand the importance of continuing that training and communications. The BIM 360 collaboration platform design, this is specifically for Revit users. I know Civil 3D also has this workflow basically implemented now. But this was to make sure that clients in CAD and Revit can actually continue working remotely without having to stop production or anything like that. Then our remote thinking, we went to kind of systems that do work, the agile thinking platform, the Scrum thinking, to make sure that we are continuously reevaluating where we're standing in any of our situations and be able to adapt to it quite quickly. And this is part of what this documentation stems from. Now, for Moderna, we've been applying this agile thinking process for quite some time, and we were quite happy with the reaction us as a company had to this COVID-19 pandemic. So, and that basically incorporated this whole process. And for us, the Moderna support was basically we needed to assist clients throughout this whole process, throughout every part of the situation, if it's online training or remote training, assisting clients going remote, or any of the agile thinking processes to help them navigate this better. Now, just to make sure everyone is comfortable with it, Moderna, we're still around. We're still applying best practices for the COVID-19 extended trial period from BIM 360, and also the standard Moderna support for phone calls as normal. Moderna can still train members. We are open for business as training as usual, and our business plan is still usual business. We don't change the way we work, we just do it unusually. So getting to the BIM 360 platform. Now, this is just a quick start. This is just to basically help you guys help yourself at this point. Now, just a little bit of a modern implementation plan. The first 8, help yourself. The basic implementation, which will take your out-of-the-box principles from docs and design and actually show you how to effectively use it, making sure everyone on the platform understands it. Our advanced implementation will grow upon that, where we start integrating customized processes and features. Our full implementation will more look at the company and how you guys like to do it and build your training around that. And ultimately, the full workflow plus template. This is where we sit with you. We build your workflows. We put it into BIM 360 to make and train everyone to make sure it's a complete workflow that you work with. On top of that, we have support packages that you guys can also get from us, which will assist in on-site or remote support in making sure that you guys use the platform successfully. And this is kind of like more check-ins. Every now and again we check in, make sure you're doing everything okay, do a little bit of training or support on the side, specifically to you and the company requirements. So we will look into 9 tips. Tip 9 is from the webinar, the live one. So, and I thought I will show that too during the on-demand. So tip 1, add new users to a project. So when you have actually in BIM 360, I'll log back in. So once you're in your project, the project admins can actually invite staff to the platform. Now, the simplest is to, from within a project, you can see I'm in my COVID-19 demo project. In my members tab as a project admin, I can hit the add button and I can type in the users we want to add. Now, these users need to be added onto your platform, and then they'll be part of the list. Now, user demo is just our demo user we typically use as an email, and here we can go. Now, from your project admin, you can assign responsibilities or membership rights or project admin rights to a project. We can say add to project, and now our user has been added. Once the user is added to your list, they will get an email notifying them that they can access the project and be able to see the information. Tip 2, create a new local. So, and I'll show you afterwards how we've basically created the central model. So this is for your general staff to start working on it. Within Revit 2019 and 2020, your new homepage, which we all know looks different, is the place you will go to establish your locals. Now, on your list, you'll find your BIM 360 hub here, and from here we can look for our project. Here we can see our COVID-19 demo project. Once we select that project file, we can see 2 areas, plans, project files. You can navigate to project files. I've created a work in progress model folder, and this could be any folder structure you'd required. And from here I can see my model, COVID-19 webinar, and I can open that. Now, the link you see there, the COVID-19 webinar, that is the central model in the cloud, and I'm creating now a local copy of it. The local copy is on your machine, and it could be used as an offline model, so you don't need to be always active online to work on the file. Once you have your local copy, you can disconnect your internet to save a little bit of internet if you're on mobile internet data. And then once you need to sync, just connect to the internet again, and you can sync that information up. Okay, so just to sync our information. Now, as per normal, when you draw elements inside Revit and you need to update that information, you can just go to Collaborate, Synchronize with Central, and you can see it will sync now to your central model in the cloud. BIM 360, COVID-19 demo project, and the webinar file. Okay, and it will sync any changes. Now, a key factor here is when you sync information, this will only be bit level information. Basically, whatever has changed between the central model in the cloud and what's on your computer. So if it's a big project and a lot of people are working on it, it might be bigger data to when it's a single person and you're only doing every now and again a little bit of changes. So that is your standard syncing process. The next part is to share information with guys that will be using BIM 360 docs maybe, or want to review information. In order to share that information, you can go to Publish Settings, and to create a new set, we can just say New Set, and this will be our BIM 360 On Demand set. Okay, now make sure that it's the selected box. You can see when something has been selected, and you need to include this to your set. Now you can add other views, 3D views, floor plans, sheets to your project, to your views, and it's all by just navigating to a view, selecting what needs to be included, and we might add a site plan here, and we can say maybe we want to add a sheet. Okay, and let's maybe add a floor plan and elevation. Okay, you save and close. My preference is normally just to sync and save again, just to make sure that information is a backup version. Again, you can see again, it's just kilobyte of information that's being sent. Now, once we've created our published set, we want to manage our cloud models. Now, there's a slight difference between syncing and publishing. Syncing is basically creating a backup copy on the cloud that can be rolled back to at any point if required so. A published set is more of a, we're happy with this point in time, we're happy with the set of drawings, and we want to submit that to review for other people. So we can navigate to our project, and we'll see all our Revit files within our project. Now, you will see once something has been published before, it will get a tick mark, meaning it's the latest version. If it's not, we'll get this little arrow, and we can just hit that, and that'll submit our information to BIM 360. Okay, and now you can carry on working. Now, while that is publishing, I'm going to jump to tip 9 quickly, and I'm just going to open a sample project. So tip 9 is just to show you how to create a cloud model. Now, this is your original, if you need to collaborate in BIM 360 and you have your project open. Now, as always, you can just come to Collaborate, and you will see in BIM 360 Document Management, select OK. And then as before, you can just navigate to your hub, to your project, to the folder structure we want to be, and we'll just navigate into this work in progress and initiate. And that will now create a BIM 360 cloud model for you guys. to be able to create local versions of it. Okay, navigating to BIM 360. So in our BIM 360 document management platform, we can now actually view our folder structure and our different sheets. So the tip we're now jumping to is tip 5, to review sheets and model information. Okay. So you can see on my left-hand side, we've got our two sections, plans and project files. For now, we're just working in project files, and my work in progress model environment. If I open the folder up, I will find my COVID-19 webinar. Once my collaboration is finalized here, I will find additional model below here, which is the sample file. I can open up this view. And in our Sheets and Views pane, we will see our published sets of information. So our 3D view, if I navigate to my 2D view, I can see there's a project info, there's level 1, 2, my north elevation, and I can view that in even my site. So it's not a requirement just to send floor plans or elevations or sheets. You can do a combination of the drawings. Okay. Then looking at tip number 6, model compare versions. So every time you publish a set to BIM 360, it gives you the option to review it or to see it. Now, this version 5, meaning it's the first version that I've published to BIM 360. That allows for a lot of power. I can download each version. I can even do a comparison between versions. So within any view, floor plan, sections, elevations, you can navigate to the compare tool at the bottom, and I can select what version am I looking at. I'm looking at version 5, and I'm looking at version 4 here. Now I'm going to jump a little bit back and maybe look at version 2, which might be some of my original models. And we can already see I'm not necessarily looking at the same view, but I will be looking at the same information. So when I compare the two, BIM 360 will automatically look at the two sets of information and graphically show me the differences. So if I rotate around and zoom a little bit in, I can see there's some red information, green information, and yellow information. Now, anything that's green is new. It's been added to the original one. Anything that's red is removed from my list, and everything that's yellow has been modified. So and I can also filter out to quickly see what's been added, what's been removed, and then the modified. Okay. The modification can look at anything that has been graphically changed, meaning a wall that's rotated slightly or edited, or it could be anything that's a data change, meaning like a parameter change, a name change, things like that. Okay. Then moving on to our next tip for transmittals in BIM 360. Now this is kind of a tracking method to use. It'll allow you to kind of send information to different team members or clients. So once you select a project, you can say create a transmittal. This will be our work in progress model, and I can assign it to a user. So I want to issue this to Dino, one of my colleagues. And we can see all that information. We can type an additional message, and I can create and send this transmittal to them. Dino will get an email saying a new transmittal has been sent to him, and he can view that from he can open up the link to BIM 360 from his Outlook. And then tip 7, transmittals in BIM 360. Oh, sorry, not tip 7. Tip 8, desktop connector. Now this is how to link information from BIM 360. Now, in order to do it effectively, you need to download the desktop connector. Now the links will be provided or has already been provided for you guys just to download it. Now the desktop connector is kind of like the Dropbox or a OneDrive link to your computer, and you can navigate from there. Now, there is two methods. Revit files is different to AutoCAD files. So when I go to my insert link and I look at link a Revit file, once it opens up the dialog box, okay. Once you're on BIM 360, you'll realize you have an external references. By default, it'll take you to your external resource, to your BIM 360 platform. If you navigate through there, you can see your project. It'll automatically filter only project related information. So demo projects. Now the importance is with the desktop connector, it can only link from project files. It cannot link from plans. So navigate to project files and I can look at my linked information. There's a Revit link folder and there's my project. And I can just, as per normal, link in how you would like it to be. Now again, this will create a local copy of it on your computer for the project. And here's my link now. And it works as a normal link. The only difference is it's hosted in BIM 360. Okay. For CAD, you need to do it slightly different. I can go link CAD. And I can come to my desktop, so this PC, and you can see there's the BIM 360 platform. I can open up there. I can navigate to my hub, modern BIM 360, to my project, COVID-19, project files, my linked files. I can select my CAD, and there's my CAD file in itself. And I can follow the typical rules of how you want to import your CAD files. Again, that'll just kind of download a copy of it to your computer. And there we have a CAD file in our project. Okay. Quite easy, quite simple, and it allows for quick collaboration in the process. So that is effectively our 9 tips for you guys to just start off and actually utilizing the platform. Now, there was a little bit of a workflow that involves when you create a new BIM 360 design hub. For a lot of our clients, we are assisting them in the process. If you guys require it, we can assist you and get your users up and running quite quickly. And this is part of our first aid kit. Now, for existing hub owners, you need to create a new hub and load all your users on the new hub, and then you can assign the free trial licenses to them and then invite them to your existing project. For Docs users, there is generally 2 workflows. If you only have a Docs platform, you can just invite new users to it. If you're activating design as well for this period, you basically have to use the new design platform instead of the Docs platform. Okay. Now, once the project is at the end, you have basically 2 decisions. One, download all my project files and upload it back to my existing hub, meaning I do not have BIM 360 design anymore, so I can't collaborate in the cloud. Option 2 is you basically get rid of your Docs hub and you just continue working with design as per normal. Okay, these are the 2 options at the end of the day that you can work with. And then the links to help you guys just get a bit further down the process, as provided before with the live webinar. Okay. Now, some of the tips we have just for remote working, it's about a week too late now, but it's still valuable throughout the process. Now, tip 1, create a morning routine. Pretend like you're going to work. Get up normally, eat breakfast at the same time. If you shower, if you exercise, do that. And then take that hour of traffic time and do something productive, house-orientated. Tip 2, working hours. Keep to a schedule and follow those guidelines. Don't try and break it intermittently or as the day goes along. Now, this is quite tricky if you have a little bit of if you have a kid in the house, because they do have some time that you need to spend with them. Tip number 3, make a little bit of an office space, trying to isolate yourself from distractions. Don't sit behind the TV or out on the stoop necessarily, but just find that space. Tip 4, set goals. Get a little bit of an organization going in your daily routine. Put out like to-do tasks for the day, and then just review your tasks at the end of each day. Tip 5, take a little bit of a me time. Because you're working from home, you can quickly just consume the whole day in work. Break it up into smaller pieces. Have a little bit of a coffee break. Walk outside. Play with your dog, train your dog, whatever you need to do. Tip 6, avoid distractions. Don't go to Facebook too quickly or watch TV or get lost in a book. Just find that little time to make sure you get distracted with your me time, but so that it doesn't run away with you. Tip 7, stay connected with your team and your managers. Schedule consistent check-ins and one-to-one meetings just to make sure that everyone is still happy and kosher and things like that. Tip 8, take clear breaks. This is kind of one of those things, and I think we'll find a lot of it happening more to the end of the lockdown. It's just schedule a little bit of time connecting back with friends, with colleagues, have a little bit of a water cooler talk and things like that. It does get quite lonely sitting at the house the whole time, and I think a lot of people have started experiencing that. So just make sure you start connecting with other people throughout the day. Tip 9, take care of your body. Make sure you drink a lot of water, get some fresh air. It is possible to walk outside a little bit and do so. Tip 10, reflect and plan. At the end of the day, reflect on what you've done and prioritize for your next day. Extend this to quick team calls. So as Moderna, we've implemented this process very strictly. We have a morning call just to find out quickly what everyone's plans are for the day, and an afternoon call just to find out how it went, any major issues that jumped up that need to be planned for the next day. It is critical to stay in communication with your team and colleagues throughout the process. So up next, we've got a Pinnacle training coming up on the 3rd of April. We are planning on doing a panel discussion for BIM 360 Design to find out what other stuff clients have done to assist with this transition and process. Now, we are open for any other ideas, especially around the idea of remote working. If you guys feel like we should add something, just send an email through to your contact person, and we can definitely have a look at that. And then a little bit of Q&A. Now, with BIM 360 Design, you are allowed to invite someone else to your hub if they also have a design license assigned to them. Okay. Can I save non-worksheet models to the cloud? Yes. BIM 360 Docs allows for saving of non-worksheet models to cloud. And this extends also to Revit LT. Basically, instead of saying save to my computer, you can just say save to cloud, and it's available since 2019. Can I link AutoCAD files from BIM 360 Docs? Yes, you just need the desktop connector as I showed in the example. What happens if my internet disconnects? You can still work offline as the local cached version of your project is on your computer. Once the internet is restored, you can just sync that information or create a publish set to generate that backup. What happens when the extended trial period ends? You have two options. One, you can buy BIM 360 and continue working with your same hub and information. Or two, you have to download all your files and recollaborate them on your server. And that is for the webinar. I hope you guys enjoy this information, and this is an interesting time for us all. So yes, please reach out if you have any other questions or queries around BIM 360 Docs or design, and we can definitely assist going forward. Have a